Okay, so
I'm looking forward to it.
to explain for everybody, just so you know what's up, we're going to be doing a sort of best of five drop series. We might keep going if people want to, and just like switch up teams after that and have some fun. But we'll be doing a best of five series between two conglomerate teams from. Looks like we've got SIG, SWK, BSK, Lords, 228, GK, SJR, and that's it in terms of teams. So we've got a lot of people. I think we've got like 30 some people in channel below us, and there'll be Jaeger and Piemaker. It looks like we'll be picking teams, forming out rosters, and then those two teams will be facing each other in this best of five series, where we'll be testing clans versus IS mechs, pretty much. Well, at least for the first two drops. So the first two drops, first drop is we're going to do 3-3-3. We're going to do clan brawlers versus full meta. Second drop is going to be 3-3-3-3, or sorry, 4x3. Why don't I use that more? 4x3 clan snipers versus full meta, and then drop 4 will be 780 tons. Both teams taking full brawl. Drop 5 will be 540 tons. Both teams obviously doing whatever they want, but still clan versus IS. And then the last drop, drop 5, will be everybody brings whatever. And you can think of this as a best of 5 series, but we're going to play all 5 games because it's for testing purposes. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I am very, very excited. And Siri would be excited, but he's getting a drink of water now. So he is,
Not water.
a drink.
Yeah, well, it's only 3 p.m. in the afternoon, but fuck it, it's my day off.
Well, it's 5 here. So
That makes it legit.
there. Well, how about this? I'll grab a drink with you, and then it'll be like actually legit. Looks like we've got some teams are filling showcase. Okay, good. We have like showcase team stuff. Too good. Deadfire made channels.
Okay.
Perfect.
So once you get your drink, we'll talk about what we expect to see from this in terms of, the clans are going to be bringing an entirely new style. So once you're back, we'll discuss.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a couple images to the overlay quick. Once we're in the game, Siri, remind me to check on these images to make sure that they're in the right spot and not covering anything important. Okay, now I'm getting my drink. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Gin and tonic made. Summer accomplished.
Excellent. Okay.
Alright, so what do you think we're gonna see, man?
Well, the first drop, we actually have 5 drops planned. I'm going to go through them. The first drop is going to be Clan vs. IS, 3333, Clan Brawlers versus full optimized IS meta, aka Snipers. Drop 2 is going to be Clan vs. IS, Clan Snipers versus full meta, still 3s. Drop 3 is 780 tons, full Brawl. Drop 4 is 540 tons, and as 540 tons go, that's probably going to be a Brawl. But the clans actually have some options in terms of their weapons. We'll get more into that in a minute. And drop 5 is planned to be just 3 all, bring whatever, mixed IS and clan tech. So we're going to see the most optimization in terms of well, let's say people think the Mad Cat is just better than the Catfract. They'll probably end up bringing that on that drop. And then, say, maybe have Victors instead of Daishis for the assaults, etc. In terms of style, what have you seen so far from the public test? How do you feel the weapons are for the clans? What sort of new style are they bringing?
So, the thing about the clans is, like, we've only seen really clan versus clan stuff because everybody's on the public test. Everybody's there to test the clans, so everybody's playing the clans. You see a few dedicated guys, like I've seen Shope playing his Catfract like all day. Like that's super impressive to me because all I want to be doing is playing clans. Come on, it's awesome. So we see, we haven't seen a lot of IS versus clan combat. I have seen Victors doing very well still, and I think that they are still one of the best sort of like jump sniping builds, but we really don't know because we've never had like purely clan versus purely IS stuff, and we haven't seen how they balance out. With the XP and all that stuff that everybody has, I think we'll see like everybody's gonna be having mastered mechs, so we're not gonna have to worry about anything like that. I think that, oh man, Direwolves bring a huge thing to the table. They're a 100-ton mech that's like worth taking. Like Atlases, you'd only take in certain comps because, I mean, yeah, they were good in a Brawl, but they were kind of slow and they couldn't get to the front very fast. And even if they did, they might get picked apart too fast. Like, you know, there was just a bunch of stuff, and they would totally outclassed by Victors. But Direwolves, man, there's so many builds that are just annihilate things. Like what's the one you run? The 4 UAC 10s and 6 mediums, right, or 6 smalls.
Last public test, I was running 4 UAC 10s with 6 ER smalls, and that thing was, you're right, it was annihilating things, but the thing was that Ghost Eat wasn't in, and so I haven't had extensive time to test it today to see how badly it's affected by that. I've looked at the numbers, and it's not actually that bad, as long as you're only getting 1 4 alpha, a reset, then a 4 alpha, but before it was obscene, 110 damage in less than a second, if you could land all the shots.
Yeah, and still, I personally still prefer the 2 ERPPC 2 Gauss rifle one, just because it's like Chappelle, like from so far away. Like you're walking at somebody, just like. For those of you that don't know, Siri and I played a little bit last night, and he took that Daishi, and I took the one I was just telling you about, and I beat you by like 100 damage, and that's the only reason that is because I actually play Assault all the time, and Siri.
Well, also the fact that I only was in a fight for half of it during the.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Neither of us dropped strikes. Somebody broke 1,000 damage. It wasn't you.
You didn't break 1,000 damage. You got 1,000 damage exactly.
Fuck. That's the 3rd time that's happened to me. Actually, I hit 1,000 damage more than I actually break 1,000 damage.
Point being, though, we went in just the 2 of us, basically spearheading a push, and he put out 1,000. I put out over 900. I think it was 950. And basically duoed that push with a bit of backup against like an 8-strong firing line. So they are pretty mean. The thing about them is, you said the Atlas was slow compared to a Victor. Well, the Daishi goes like 52. It doesn't have jump jets. It's not mobile in the slightest. It's a turret. If you can bring it to bear, it's going to absolutely demolish things. But what we've seen out of like the top level competitions between say SJR and SWK, House of Lords 228, is that mobility wins games. The ability to move around and have all your guns on target. So if the IS are able to use that mobility out of their assaults with like Dragon Slayers going 75 and having cohesive fire, then that might be enough to trump the Daishi's sheer firepower. Catch being that that's in comp play. In pugs, where it's going to be a bit more rabble and loose, I expect the Daishi to be absolutely fearsome. But I'd like to see if that holds up here.
And I wonder if the fact that mobility has always been key is because we did have high pinpoint alpha builds, but we never had something that could just spew damage like Clan Mechs can. And I think that you might see... I'd love to see people try taking slower builds and going for just like a very methodical push where you're just keeping somebody down, because you don't want to move out against 3 Daishis walking up at you, because if you do, you die in one volley, and it's just like you can't do anything about that. So I hope we have really good players in this these two groups by the look of it. So I'm guessing we're gonna see some fun strategies, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Well, here's a question actually I have to check with them, is that, are they doing strikes? Because if they're doing strikes and these Daishis are turrets, I think that goes in favor of the IS, because there's no way in hell a Daishi can walk out of a strike if it's placed on it. Even if he sees it, he's only got the 5-6 seconds, and at his speed, that's not enough, not nearly enough.
Yep.
And their geometry it's a barn. The top of it is flat. Can you imagine getting hit by like 1 shell, let alone 2 or 3?
Like, oh, dude, an airstrike!
Hits.
If you have like the grouped airstrike module, you'll literally drop like, what is it? So it's be 7. You drop like 140 points of damage on top of a Masakari, I bet.
Yeah. So if it comes to the airstrike meta, I think IS wins that fight. But that's on the assault side. What are we going to see down in the heavies, mediums, and God forbid lights? You want to take us through that?
Man, that's where I think that... So I'm looking at the IS team
into that,
right
I
now.
have confirmation from Dadfire. They are not doing strikes. So.
Okay, no strikes. Great, okay. I'm looking at the teams right now. I don't see like a disparaging number of light pilots on one team. Obviously, Aurora is on the IS team, so I think that might help.
Do you mean disparate?
What did I say?
Disparaging.
Oh yeah, I do mean disparate. Jesus.
I know you disparage light pilots all the time. You feel like fucking assault pilot, but...
you dirty twitchy bastards. Okay, so I think that will be a huge advantage for IS mechs, is that their lights don't suck. That's why I think that the...
Tactful.
Well, you have the Adder, which is a BS Kata. It's, I mean, just what it is. I suppose you could run, like, a streak bow. Oh, but streak 6s are a thing. Man. Okay, so... Clan lights are too slow, but they pack a hell of a punch. And if you had maybe like, I think they're just going to be used for utility, honestly, because like that Kit Fox with 3 AMS and an ECM can mount a PPC and jump jets, and it's like, well, I don't have to worry about LRMs at all. And so I think that if they're set up right, the Clan lights could take the IS lights, because you could run like 1 Adder with 2 Streak 6s and then a couple Kit Foxes or something like that. And then you just your IS lights would never want to engage on that. But in terms of like speed and mobility, like you mentioned, IS definitely has the advantage. And I think so that's why we're doing this, man, is because we don't really know.
Well,
I think
My
we're going to see
assessment
the
is that
constant
the
quick mobile strategy that we see from a lot of IS, like from the IS teams right now. And I think that the clan mechs will probably lean. I think in the first couple games they might try to be quick and fast, and they might try and take a bunch of Mad Cats, maybe a summoner, some Novas for fast skirmishing, and then maybe like just long range direct fire assaults with some lights to support. But the the gap between the fast clan mechs and the slow clan mechs is huge, and most IX mechs are capable of kind of running together. So
one thing I'd say is that the lights, at least for IS, the thing about them is their speed, their weapons, they're flexible. They can jump in between killing heavies and fighting lights. Just blink of an eye, snap of the finger, just turn around, do it. But that's because they're using medium lasers and machine guns, and those are your ubiquitous jack-of-all-trade weapons. But for a clan light to be useful, I feel like they're going to have to specialize in either, like, learn boating. This is actually a thing. Clan learn boats, 2 LRM-20s, something along those lines. It's silly.
Can't you
but
put
it
2 LRM-20s in an adder? Isn't that a thing?
I think you can. The adder and the Kit Fox have the same pod space. Or they can do anti-light with like streaks, but I feel like if they're going to do jack of all trades and try and do the same thing with the like medium lasers, 270 meter, well, I guess medium lasers for for clans are ER, so they're 450, but sort of like that 300 meter engagement range, I think is not well for clans. The lights, just because they don't have the speed to get in and out and position, so they're going to have to specialize, and I feel like that is something that the IS team could recognize and then adapt to. And that's one thing, like if you look at competitive drop decks up to now, they've always been flexible. They have, when they come up against a more specialized loadout, like say all Lerms or all Brawlers, then you adapt your strategy and you counter it. But with the lights, the clan lights, that I don't think that's possible.
I'm excited, man. I think this is going to be interesting. Part of me feels like the clans have just so much pinpoint alpha with that they would win sniping, but then they can also just switch to huge like brawling mechs, and I don't know. Maybe I also think that people being experienced with IS mechs is going to come into play. Because like if you're playing a Dragon Slayer for the umpteenth thousandth time, you're gonna know exactly what to do in a given situation. But you might not be quite used to how your Mad Cat handles in that situation, or your Direwolf. So,
well, if you're a heavy pilot for the IS, you're used to running a Cataphract that runs like 65 or 70 on a good day, jumping into a elite Mad Cat. Oh, 90 kph. Oh god, what do I do with the speed?
The one I'm running right now is just the most fun I've had is my Mad Cat has 4 ER smalls, an Ultra 10, and 2 LRM 15s, and you literally just circle around people, bombarding them with LRMs until they get angry enough to like charge at you, and then you keep hitting them with LRMs and then just destroy them with an Ultra 10 and small lasers. Like, it's so much fun.
I was running a dual Ultra 10 for ER small Mad Cat. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Out of the mediums, we're just going to cover this quickly because it looks like the teams are getting close to ready.
Oh, great.
You have the Nova, jump jets, lots of lasers, and one of the variants has 2 ballistics in each side torso. So you can do sort of like a super Ember running like 12 lasers and 4 machine guns. You're going to be hot. 12 lasers, obviously. But you do have jump jets. That being said, you're still a 50-tonner. You're a bit squishy, and you only have 81 kph before speed tweak. So as far as mediums go, you are on the slow end. But in terms of firepower, you're basically a Hunchback 4P. You're going to be sitting outside 300 meters, 450 meters, second line of the fight, and just ripping components off. So if you can avoid being focused, the Nova is amazing in terms of damage potential.
Yeah, the 12 ER small 4 machine gun build is what I have on mine, God, is that fun. You just pump out so much damage. You have a fist of like lasers. I don't know. It's a blast.
The other medium is the Stormcrow, the Ryokan, and this is where the clan lights kind of get shown up. Is that the Ryokan runs the same speed as the lights, like 110 post speed tweak, and it's got more weight and more armor. And if you want to do the drawback to it, it doesn't have jump jets. But there are some really mean brawler builds you can do with it, both with lasers, ballistics, and SRMs. I think you can actually do a SRM 30. And sure, you can't fire all of them at once, but you don't want to anyways because they're both torso and arms. But one thing we neglected to mention earlier is that the Buckton fix is finally in for SRMs, and this is just huge. It's projected something like 20% damage increase overall, theoretically, based on the numbers they had. I don't know, Carl quoted them, but it's
crazy good. Let's put it that way.
SRMs work. SRMs freaking work. And we waited for this for how long? I don't know, but I'm speechless with how like giddy I am for this.
Dude, it's a whole new
and like
game.
we're talking like full meta from the IS, and this is coming in with the Buckton fix, possibly shaking up the meta entirely. So when we're saying meta, we're saying the traditional stuff. And this is actually going to be a great first match to showcase it, because it's going to be clan brawlers versus inner sphere, quote, meta. Then, just ripping through the last two mechs that we haven't covered before we get this live. Mad Cat, super fast. Summoner, super fast. Summoner is a bit more agile, it's 5 times less. They both have jump jets, but the Mad Cat, if it uses the jump jets, the quirk on the torsos reduces its agility significantly. I was in a Mad Cat, and even though it's running 89.1, the torso yaw penalty from that jump jet torso made it really, really difficult to hit like a light trying to stay on your back. I think it's something like a 10% yaw reduction per torso.
Damn. Yeah, dude, the torso, or the omnipod quirks.
I'm gonna double check that.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say the omnipod quirks are a really great way to balance stuff, in my opinion. I think they would have had a really hard time doing it, and I think this was a really clever solution, because like everybody's gonna use that Mad Cat shoulder with the jump jets in it. And
7.5% per torso.
There you go. Just close my window quick.
Okay, I'm gonna go double check with our groups and see if they're ready to launch.
Let's get it started! God, I hope we're not sync dropping. That would be ridiculous. I think we have enough people that they should be in a lobby. Hold on, let me check my friends list. Yeah, RR's in the lobby. Okay, good. Good. How's it going, chat? How you guys doing? You guys glad to be here? Glad to be checking out some IS mechs versus some clan mechs. Ready to crush some shit. It's gonna be great. Quickly, I'm gonna remind everyone. Tell your friends. Everybody. Message all your buddies. Get people to come watch. It's gonna be awesome. We have some great matches. It'll be really fun. Etc. etc. Shameless self-plug. All that kind of stuff. Follow me on YouTube. Pow. Oh, Siri's back. Siri.
Hi.
Back now?
They are just getting the lobby sorted. They'll message me when they're ready.
Perfect.
Think of something to say.
So now, the important the hype train is going on in chat, just like I like it. Here's the most important thing. What are we going to bet on the outcome of these matches?
I bet you that I'll show up to the next cast match.
That's not fair. I can just
No,
call.
it's not.
Can
'Cause
just
you've already
call
lost.
Eagle. Okay, well here's what I'm saying. I'm saying 3-2. Clans win.
Which matches are they winning?
They are winning.
Also, how do they win drop 5?
Oh yeah. Well, we have Team Clan, which is Team 1. So.
Just for the record, Team 1, the clan team is currently being run by Jaeger12, and the IS team is being run by Piemaker.
Oh yeah,
from
let's
SJR.
Let's do a classic readout of the teams. So for the clan, representing the clans in this show match, we have SJR's Jaeger12, SIG's Lego Pirate, SWK's Slayer, Captain Terrific, and Chap Dude. We have Lord Coburn. We have Kincaid, 3825, Philo Doe, all the clans. We have from the 228th Pisces Zero, Lord Sun Cobra, SWK's Twinkie Overlord, and Lord Wispsy. Representing the IS mechs, we have SGR's Piemaker, SWK's Aurora, IS only. He's very careful to make sure that we know. BSK's Bentron, SWK's oh god, how do you pronounce his name?
Demosthenes?
Demosthenes, there we go. 228's El Ducarino, 228's JZ. We have GK's Novocaine, SJR's Odwalla and Savage Hero, Lord Schopenhauer, SJR's Suicidal Baby, and finally, from the 228th, representing the IS, is The Beef. So those are your teams, those are your lineups, and I'm betting 3-2 in favor of Team 1, the clans.
Am I allowed to agree with you?
Yeah, you are. That's no fun.
Okay. Well,
I think clans lose the 550 or the 540 and the full meta sniper 1. So I think clans lose drop 2 and drop 4.
I think the clans are going to win drops 1, 3, and 4. Actually, hell, I think clans are going to go 4 and 1. I think they're going to take all of the... Actually, no, goddammit, the lights. The lights factor into this so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with how bad the clan lights are in comparison.
Let the admittance flow through you.
I think clans win drop 3 and drop 4 when it's going to be tonnage, for sure, because they're going to be able to optimize there. The mediums are going to be really powerful, especially on drop 4. Like, the amount of firepower coming out of those mediums compared to IS mediums is fantastic. So... But then again, if 540 tons and there's a lot of... The lights could carry the IS through. But I'm going to give the edge to clans for the 540 ton, unlike you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the Streak 6s. Yep.
Not just Streak 6s, but Novas with ER fists, ER small laser fists. Yeah, I'm saying 4-1, clans take everything but the sniper battle.
Alright, well that means we have a disagreement, so that means we have to bet something other than you actually showing up on time.
Hey man, I was here before you today, and I was actually at those matches.
That's, yeah, I suppose.
I wasn't casting them, but I was at them.
Fair. They dropped.
Wait, they did? What?
They didn't tell us, but they dropped. Join, quick. I just saw everybody's names go yellow.
Shit. Wait, does that just mean... Oh yeah, they did.
I remembered, by the way. Don't worry.
We are so organized. Oh, fucking hell, it's Terra Therma.
Oh god. Also, really quick
I'm-
before we get started,
I'm
shout
standing
out.
by my decision that the clan brawlers win this just because it's Terra Therma.
Yep. Just really quick before we get started, huge shout out to Nico and Carl for helping us getting these tools and getting everything started. Okay, both teams are actually encroaching on the center already. We see blue team being somebody.
Blue team is the IS team. They have already made it to middle and are setting up with their Shadowhawks, Jenners, Dragon Slayers, and Cataracts, just with what you'd expect out of the meta. The clan brawlers are now coming through. They are coming through with... Actually, no, they're kind of thinking about it. But they have Direwolves, Kid Foxes, Timberwolves. They are full brawl. They are, thank God, no strikes, because they're heavily clumped right now.
Oh, yeah. And so
but
we do see that.
nobody wants to take the lead on pushing through this choke point.
We do see
Lego
that.
Pirates Timberwolf already down to 83%. I'm trying to get him a better readout on that.
For sure. Yep, and so the IS mechs they're staying back. They want to make sure that they're not too close to these clan mechs, because these guys have been playing on the PTR. They know what these clan mechs are about. And let's take a look at some of these builds really quick for the clan mechs.
Lego Pirate in the Timberwolf Prime is running an Ultra AC-20 and 4 SRM-6s with Artemis. Now, there's a bit of a giveaway here, I'm not going to lie, is that the IS team knows what that the clans are running brawlers, so they've already set up to receive.
Jaeger is running 4 SRM-6s and 5 ER Meads on his Timberwolf. SRMs, man. Alright, so we see these Kid Foxes. Looks like a couple of these light mechs. Just trying to see what everybody's brought.
Fuel
Yeah, we
at
see this
25%.
we see Lego Pirate and then a Mad Cat with an AC-20 and also, wow, 4 SRM-6s. They are really full brawl. They listen. Pisces is in a
Target
Kid Fox
acquired.
with 2 AMS,
Fuel
ECM,
at
couple machine guns.
25%.
This is a pretty decent brawl build. It looks like the clans have brought a little bit of backup in terms of these light mechs. A couple of them have the ability to pick at their opponent. And we do see Aurora and Bentron in these Jenners are a little bit out by themselves. But again, with the way clan light mechs work, they're pretty safe in scouting. Unless they get one-shot by a heavier and assault. I mean, Aurora's pretty safe out there.
Well, Captain Terrific is also running the 3 ER mediums and 2 machine guns on this Kid Fox. So their lights are also brawly. They didn't opt for more of a
It's just
support
Pisces
function.
then. Pisces brought in the air PPC.
Oh, okay.
That was where I was going off of.
Who is the other one? Coburn is an adder. Let's see what he has.
That's gotta be some PPCs, unless it's streaks.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's 4 clan SRM-6s. The ultimate striker light.
Holy god. Okay, so basically here's what happens. Right now, you're looking at the Caldera. Now you see this wide open space in between the IS mechs and the clans. That is all that's protecting the IS mechs from losing and living at all. Because if the clan mechs come around either side here, the IS mechs die. Because that's a ton of SRM-6s and AC-20s. And I don't think you can do anything about that. So basically, if we see them close to a close enough distance...
Suicidal Baby. Look how close he is.
Oh,
His name,
Suicidal,
it
what
is
are you
accurate.
doing, Dragon? He's a Dragon Slayer. It's an assault mech. This could be the sort
I think
of
he
bait.
just tried to trade with a direwolf and got the
You don't trade with
bad end
direwolves.
of that stick.
You don't trade with direwolves. Come on, man. So we see Suicidal Baby is in fact pulling back now. Clans are splitting a little bit on the entrance. They don't want to take too much damage prematurely. Oh wow, but Pie Maker is jumping across, trying to get a couple shots, knowing that they have the advantage in jump sniping. The IS mechs are moving up. What are they doing? That space that I talked about that's protecting them from these clan
I
brawlers?
think they're giving us a show.
Oh wow!
I think they're gonna try and just work the jump sniping here, try and provoke a move, but not get caught by a counter push.
And it's true. We see Aurora. I don't know what Aurora is doing actually. He's way out by himself. What? Let's look at this. So Aurora is watching for a flank. One of the IS's best light pilots, just sort of chilling, making sure nothing happens. Well, the IS mechs have moved up a little bit, but they are still keeping somewhat of a barrier. It seems like somebody called them on the like, well, what are you guys doing right now? I'm not sure that's a great idea, and so they're pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, they're just trying to get angles here in order to still be able to jump, but do it from a safe distance. And that's actually forcing the clan mechs back just a little bit here. You know, I gotta say, if strikes were in, this would be slightly different, because they'd be putting strikes out, and the brawlers would be probably opting to commit just straight in, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead.
Whoa, but Bentron in this Jenner, he's getting a little bit out of place.
Ben,
you see a Nova chasing him down.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They can't catch him.
They can't catch him, it's true. But that Nova, man, he's already down to 84%. Let's check and see exactly where that damage has been done. I'm assuming with these pilots, it's probably mostly leg damage. Right.
Well, it's a Jenner, so probably a decent amount of CT as well.
Oh, yeah, because you can't... Oh, actually, Bentron is pretty good. He's taken a lot of damage sort of all over, but that's it. And so he zips back out for a little bit more scouting
actually trying to jump trade over here against Pisces and Whipsy, and he actually got the better end of that because he caught Pisces off guard, climbing up that mountain.
Pisces is actually in pretty bad shape. He's at 77%. Would you check on his components really quick?
Sure.
Look at that. Look at that beautiful clan mech.
I can never find him in this list.
So I gotta say, this is the thing I don't like about people. So when you have a brawling deck, you don't trade. You don't take your time. It's not a game of patience waiting for them to make a mistake. You have to be the aggressor. And the more you wait, the more you take trades, the more damage you're going to take, and the less effective your push is going to be. That's why, I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to brawl, you got to go for it right off the bat. Because right now we see...
They're actually not that. They're just judging by their damage. It's mostly superficial, and it's not... It's actually, Suncobra here is actually rocking the 2-clan Gauss, 2-clan ER PPC, which, funnily enough, it works as well in a brawl as it does at sniping, so...
yeah,
I guess that's still within the flavor of the rules, so...
Lego Pirate, however, is actually pretty low.
Is he? I'm trying to...
Oh, he's just, he's got one red armored leg, and one of his arms is down to, internals, but I'm assuming that... Yeah, that's all torso mounted weaponry, so he's got 2 shield arms on that build. We see some clan mechs painting with lasers. We see some blue and some pink, a little bit of orange in there. This is very interesting, you guys. You see that? Oh yeah, we actually have Twinkie. He is cycle firing his lasers. Not sure why, because there's really no one around him, but he's doing it all the same.
Pro strap.
Okay, Bentron in this Jenner is peeking from as far away as he can possibly manage, trying to make sure that he doesn't get picked off. Going through the map a little bit, get that underground footage. Alright, it does look like we have a few mechs pushing up again. We see Piemaker, Adwala, and Jay-Z, Beef, Savage Hero all pushing up to the right side of this entrance. They might be going for a little bit of a play, but they're only going to find Coburn in this adder on that side that they can see. The rest of these clan mechs have pulled around to the other side and are holding, making sure that they don't get picked on too much by those light mechs.
One thing to point out is that
a gross colored direwolf.
Pisces has a seismic sensor, so he's going to be seeing this push coming.
Oh, and we do see that some of the IS mechs tried to push out a little bit, and Piemaker took a little bit of damage. He's down to 85% from that trade, but I wonder if they're going to back off again. Yep, they're...
Well, again, if they can get...
What we're seeing here is the IS mechs really want to push, but every time they do, somebody's like, "Oh God, clan mechs," and then they fall back. But it looks like the clan mechs are taking it in. There we go. Jaeger's out in front, dropping down to 82%, and it looks like he's actually lagged or maybe stuck. Yep, he takes a lot of damage, 47, 46, and Jaeger actually goes down, the first casualty of the fight. But these clans are pushing in, and that crumple zone that these IS mechs have is shrinking quickly. We see Suicidal Baby off on the right side getting picked down.
Holy shit, Savage just dropped 70% in about 3 seconds.
Jesus! These clan
No,
mechs
the
are
Kira's
dealing out a
dying
ton of
fast.
damage. Savage Hero drops off the edge, dead in his Cataphragt. Ruby Sea Slayer and his Nova pushing around, putting as much damage as he can onto these two Dragon Slayers. On the other side, we see Captain Terrific and a Kit Fox pushing back a Cataphragt all by himself. We have a mini brawl going on underneath between two Shadowhawks and a Jenner and a couple of these clan mechs. One of the Novas goes down, and a Lego Pirate and a Timberwolf is all that's remaining on that flank, but gets picked off from behind by that Ember. But these clan mechs on top are dealing tons of damage. The Direwolves are rolling in from the back.
Coburn's quad SRM6 adder just murders Piemaker.
Piemaker goes down. Oh man, we see Novocaine and this Cataphragt trying to escape, but he goes down, face plants into the wall, and now these Direwolves are holding position on top.
It's stabilizing there. 5 mechs left for the IS. Okay, not really. 5 mechs left for the IS, 5 mechs down for the clans. 4 mechs left now for IS, and it's actually just their lights. 3 lights and a Shadowhawk.
And that is
IS left.
the most advantageous things that the IS does have is these lights. And they can outmaneuver those Direwolves, man. Those are hard to twist, and if you're being careful about it, you'll be able to get the better of them. Ooh, Philodo drops down in his Timberwolf. The lights from the IS may be able to pick him off. We see Bentron down there, and most season the Shadowhawk trying to pick him off. He's at 50%. Let's zoom back up to the top.
Look here, though. Sun Cobra is just
Aurora
sitting
goes
back.
down.
He just got the hard goodbye from Sun Cobra with that dual Gauss 2 ER PPC build. He was just sitting back, completely unfocused, and just free shots for days. And he put Aura down pretty damn hard.
Yeah,
But, like, that push, I'm not gonna lie, that push went the wrong way. It went to the left where there were only, like, 2 or 3 mechs, and one of them was a light, instead of to the right where the main clump of the IS mechs were, and that Brawl still annihilated things.
Woo! And then Bentron is the last mech to go down in that Jenner. That was awesome. I love clan mechs, first of all. But that was a good fight. I mean, we saw a lot of damage go down. None of these IS mechs were really like underutilized. I think that they were just too close when that push came.
I don't know if they, like, even if they had been all the way back, would that have been enough room to save them?
They were really close, is the thing. Like, they were...
About halfway.
Yeah, and I think that... they got a couple picks right off the bat, but after that, I think that it was just sort of what always happens in a brawl. I think that had they been more unified in one area, there would have been harder target calling for both teams instead of just for them, because they were split all along that ring. So it was probably just like, oh god, shoot this person, shoot that person, blah, blah, blah. Like they were splitting both sides, and then you have to differentiate between one side of the push and the other. And you saw that a lot of mechs fell and dropped down to each side, and so I think that probably played a little bit of a role in it as well.
Well, one thing to note was that those first mechs that pushed in, Jagger was completely focused by all 12. And he still tanked much longer than you'd expect, because Clan XL, if the Mad Cat, its hitboxes are good enough that you can roll and shield, and you'd have to kill both of those or straight through the CT, which is hard. So they went for his legs, and he has jump jets. He's going to be avoiding some of that fire just by little bunny hops. It still took a while to put him down. Like, generally on an IS first push, he lasted 6 or 7 seconds. That was pretty good. IS push 3, 4 tops. So, like, that little advantage plus the speed is enough for the brawlers to get in.
I think that what we saw there not only is a pretty big testament to like how good clans are, but also SRMs are back, baby. Yeah.
Didn't get a chance to talk about this during the drop, but Coburn's quad SRM6, you can run that on a light. His clan SRM6s without Artemis are only 1.5 tons at one slot.
It's
hilarious.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were like, "Man, like, I've got like a few extra tons on my mech, and I don't know what to put on it." And I was like, "How many tons you got?" He's like, "Well, 6.5." I was like, "So you're gonna take off 0.5 tons of armor and put on an LRM 20, right?"
Or you could put on 3 SRM6s and 2 tons of ammo for 6.5 tons.
Oh my god, that's so dumb. Like, oh, that's so awesome. I love clan mechs. Yeah.
Whether or not they're actually OP, we'll see. But some of the bits can be a bit obscene right now.
Yeah, and I
what
think
I'd be
that
concerned about is for a final drop when we get the mixed tech. It might be, yeah.
Yeah. I think that, dude.
One thing I will mention going back into that fight was the big damage dealer on the clan side was Sun Cobra being a tryhard in his 2 clan Gauss and 2 clan ERPPC. And like I said, that's not technically full Brawl, but it's effective down to 0, unlike your current sniper IS mechs. So it might as well be a brawler. I was dueling Heim the other day, and he was trying to use autocannons and stuff in our one-on-one duel, and then eventually said, fuck this, grabbed the Gauss PPC, and in our point-blank duel was doing better with that than he was with medium lasers and other stuff on the Daishi. But then again, Heim is like the Gauss Whisperer, so...
The Gauss Whisperer. Oh, I'm gonna have to call him that like all the time now. I really like the Gauss Whisperer. That's good. I like that.
Okay. So for our next drop, it's going to be 3x3 or 3x4 again. It's going to be clan brawlers or clan snipers versus IS meta. And hope to God it's not on Terra Therma. I may just go down there and tell them, like, fuck Terra Therma.
Wait. No, so we're running this. Let's pick a map. What map do we think would be really fun for that? What map do we think would give a good, equal thing to both people?
Canyon, because fuck Daishis.
What map?
Canyon.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking. No, seriously. Because, okay, so seriously. Canyon, I feel like, is one of the most tactical maps because it has such tiered play. Dude, let's just tell him to play Canyon. Fuck that. Let's tell him to play Canyon. Who's got lobby?
Pi has lobby.
All right, tell him to make the map Canyon. By order of Raffle and Siri. Oh, Suicidal says we're picking Crimson/Tourmaline. I vote Goo. Tourmaline or Crimson?
They're currently thinking Crimson or Tourmaline.
Yeah, no, I just said that.
Oh, okay, fine. Jeez.
For once,
Goddamn
I got
people
you.
playing in this, watching our stream, and getting information faster than I can. Damn you, Suicidal Baby, you're not even real. You got a new mic.
Did it?
Doesn't even sound like the old one.
I hate when people do that. It's what I do when I get
I jumped to the
sick.
channel, I was like, who is this? And I was like, looking at the name with a bit of mistrust and suspicion.
Whenever I get sick, so one of like the most frequent sicknesses I have is that I lose my voice for whatever reason. And whenever I do, I tell people that I got a new mic. And they're like, "Who's this guy?" I was like, "Oh, it's Raffle. I just got a new mic." It's pretty funny. I love doing it. Okay, so I think either of those maps will be good. We'll see some good fights there. Tourmaline would be interesting because clan snipers are super inefficient.
They actually are.
Stupid.
It's only when you put 2 ERPPCs in a Gauss and try to fire it all on the Madcap that it becomes inefficient.
I would honestly take a summoner over that, probably. I feel like the hitboxes are better for sniping. I would take a summoner with a Gauss rifle and a PPC.
That's one thing we haven't fully experimented, but the Mad Cat can, because of its extra pod space, do the 2 ERPPC and a Gauss. The Gauss and a single ERPPC is basically heat neutral, and so you just fire the second ERPPC whenever you get the spare heat. And that's 25 alpha with just the one peep, and 35 with both. So, like, you have 90 kilometers an hour. So if you can engage, disengage, and get repeated trades going, I think the Mad Cat wins.
The thing about, I think the Mad Cat's pretty big is the thing for a heavy mech. I think that could play a role in jump sniping.
Are you calling it fat?
Tribird would give it a shout out. Oh, that's highlight gold.
Oh god, I can't. Tribird's shout out. Okay, continue.
Dude, so a lot of my laughs are very like, I mean, like I'm seriously laughing, but that was one of the few times I've actually just completely lost my shit laughing because I was so unprepared for it. This is one of the ones that I'm interested in terms of seeing how this works, because this is like the meta we've been talking about forever, and I think that honestly we could be doing a show match about how the IS meta has changed right now too, doing brawlers versus snipers. So this will be interesting in itself, but it's gonna be. Keep an eye on my friends. Let's make sure the whole thing doesn't go yellow at once. It's gonna be interesting, and I'm excited to see. I think the IS might have a slight advantage in this one because of just the pure amount of jump capability that IS mechs have in their snipers. Okay.
Okay. So our two teams are just getting everything sorted out for the next drop. It's not like everybody has every single mech built. It's the public test server after all. So just bear with us for a few minutes, please, and hopefully it'll be quick. Because I don't like sitting here any more than you do.
I'm just tweeting.
And for those of you listening in, from this match, keep that in mind.
I'm just tweeting Mech Warrior and Nico. Like, yo, dogs.
I think Nico's pretty busy dealing with forums, but
I have been bothering him all day. It's been great. Happy Father's Day to Nico. His baby is of course this game, and everybody at actually, yeah, just thanks to everybody for PGI. Like, this is kind of a weird day to do a public test and have a bunch of people on staff, but it's awesome and it's great fun. We're all really glad to be doing it. So I'm having a blast, man. These clan mechs are sweet. I think they're really well done. Actually gonna tell us when they drop this time?
I hope so. Not, I'm watching social here, ready to click the button. Why does it show them all as deployed still?
Mine doesn't.
Nope, there we go. That's just social being slow and laggy.
It's time, yeah. Really quick, while we've got some downtime, it's not like I have this prepared or anything, but you should follow us on Twitch TV/RaffleWaffle49, on YouTube /WarRoom Network, and on Twitter /WarRoom5. Thank you very much. The buttons are found below the stream on the right-hand side.
We now return you to your daily dose of Raffle being a shill.
God. Hey man, just because I want people to know when I'm doing stuff doesn't make me a shill. Damn it.
Alright, getting back to anti-shill topics, here's the hard question I have to ask you after just the one drop. Do you feel that clans are going to be OP?
No. I think that clan mechs versus IS mechs are pretty balanced. I think the problem comes in balancing clan mechs and IS mechs versus clan mechs and IS mechs, if that makes sense. I think that pure clan deck versus is balanced against a pure IS deck, but in a mixed comp, many clan mechs will outstrip IS mechs purely because of the difference between weight classes, if that makes sense. You still here?
Sorry, typing.
It's okay.
Doing the organization stuff behind the scenes.
No, I understand.
Looks like it should be another minute or two before they drop, but they've got all the pilots sorted out.
Right. Are the teams changing?
There were a couple of changes, but
Gotcha.
mostly the same.
So we got Tony and a couple other guys down in IS, and yeah. Harry's back.
So-
Harry's in. Addy's in. Oh god.
Ruh-roh.
Just give him to
do you
IS,
feel
make it fair.
that perhaps some of the clans are slightly too strong for their style, and especially if we're going to see more clan mechs. Because remember back when IS mechs first came out, your initial set of 4, even your initial set of reinforcements like the dragon, none of those were particularly great because they weren't fully optimized. But as you get more and more mechs available, the odds that one of them is going to be optimized for whichever playstyle is dominant goes up. So let's put it that way, I'm not completely concerned about the initial release. I think there are going to be some rough patches. I am most concerned about what comes down the road.
Yeah, I think that the way to balance it is the omnipod quirks. We talked about that. Like, some of them have longer weapon cooldowns, or what is the Mad Cat has one of the torsos take 7% more damage from overheating and stuff like that. Personally, I am a firm old school believer that R&R is a thing and should be treated as such. I think that it was a great mechanic, and it led to a lot of... It could have, in terms of competitive play, it could have led to a lot of interesting strategies where you only have X number of C-bills per, tournament game, and you have to spend those on mechs and repair and rearm and stuff like that. So it gets harder per match and things like that. You're right. You will have more specialized mechs as there are more and more clan mechs, but I think that the way they've done the balancing, given time, they will be even with, got 8 new mechs coming in. It's kind of excuse me, it's kind of ridiculous to think that they're all going to be perfectly balanced right out of the gate, but I think that they're in a pretty good spot now, honestly. I think that as a whole, taken as a whole right now, they add the very effective, brawler class of mechs that you didn't necessarily used to see. Sure, the Mad Cat is technically a direct upgrade from the Victor because it's lighter and can mount basically the same build, but it's not. It's different. The size is different, the feel is different, the arms, the movement is different, stuff like that. And I think that give it a month before you pass full judgment, because that's once you're going to see people get used to all the mechs and start finding truly optimized combinations.
Well, on that note, here's a question I'll toss at you: these are possibly unoptimized, unfamiliar clan mechs going up against the meta of IS, and the last one they were pretty dominant.
If you're gonna go by that, I'm gonna go and say that these teams aren't in a place where it's the skill level is perfect on par. It's not like we're doing... What I wanted to do was do SJR versus Lords.
That may still happen later tonight during our
Perfect.
actual practice time.
Perfect, yes! Never mind then. I still want to do that, so I will wait to pass judgment until we see something like that. Because I think that there's just so much experimenting to be done, and we haven't seen all permutations and stuff like that. And as much as I'd like to be clans are completely balanced and they should just stay how they are, I think that we're going to see changes and stuff like that. Think about all the changes we saw from the last PTR, 5 days ago or something like that. It's a big difference. Are you actually going to tell us?
Well, the thing I'll say is, Tony's on it.
Boss.
The thing I'll say is that this is up against the full meta, the practiced meta of IS, and it's holding its own pretty damn well, not beating it. So what the hell happens to all of the IS mechs that are less than optimal?
I mean, they were already not played, if that's really what you're worried about.
I mean, that's one, but
So
including
they've
the ones that were potentially just brought up to good brawling with the Buckton fix.
um.
I'm
No,
to be clear, I'm arguing for the sake of arguing here.
No, I
So,
understand. I think that they mentioned the fact, like omnipods, they will give some mechs certain quirks. When I talked to Russ on the last PTR, and he mentioned something about that, or PTS. Sorry, Jesus. He mentioned something about that, like things like making the awesome be able to use 3 PPCs without ghost heat, stuff like that. Were on the table in terms of design choices, and I think that things like that could bring quote-unquote obsolete mechs to a better place, as well as give IS mechs an advantage against clans.
gonna be honest, I hadn't heard about that. I had considered it a logical extension from what they had done with, the quirks, the individual mech quirks or component quirks.
Nothing's
and I was
for
hoping they would do that.
Yeah, nothing's for sure yet.
And I still hope they do. I understand it's not for sure, but I really hope they do. And I do it in a manner that will fix, air quotes, the weaker mechs.
Yeah, and he mentioned, he was like, yep, we've totally thought about it, but we've got to be careful to do it in a way that makes sense, and we're not just like, that we're doing all mechs in a similar fashion, not just patching one mech that we feel like is completely, unused. Which was, I think, in mention to the awesome, but I'm not completely positive about that, so.
I'd be okay if they did it just one by one iteration, just get it out there, crank it up, instead of sitting back and unleashing it all at once.
I think
because it's sort of like with testing, if you do a lot of changes at once, it's harder to understand the effects. But if they keep a constant baseline and do one by one, I think it might be better results.
Yeah. Sorry. Been too busy today. Alright, what are these teams up to? We have a loadout error, couple more minutes. God damn it, Sui. Alright, Suri, what's your favorite mech?
Is Sui on the IS or the clan team?
Sui is on the
IS
team.
So we can't blame the Omnipods for breaking it. Well,
just
your good
doesn't
old
necessarily
UI 2.0.
mean that doesn't necessarily mean that the loadout error was on the IS side. It means that they, as a collective group, had a loadout error.
They launched. They're fucking stupid.
Alright, loading.
Oh god.
Is it asking me to log in again?
It made me log in again too. There we go, I'm in. Okay.
I'm in.
God, sorry. It is Tourmaline. How long ago did they launch?
Okay. He's out, so
okay.
It couldn't have been long because I just saw my social flash at the same time as he hopped in.
Perfect. Oh, made the startup sequence. Oh, even with a login. Oh, yes. Perfect.
Okay, so we have 3 direwolves from the clan side.
Snipers and brawlers.
Well, it's not full snipers, it's...
No, I'm just saying in terms of...
Well, it is supposed to be full sniper style.
Yeah.
So...
Alright, so it looks like we
They go
have...
on a limb and say that all of these direwolves are Gauss PPC.
The clans once again in red versus the IS mechs in blue. Looks like we've got very similar. We've got Cataphracts, Victors, the meta, what we had last time. And looks like the clan mechs are holding sort of by ring. See, they have a problem here is that these direwolves, they can't jump jet. Those Timberwolves, they can jump jet. We got a Summoner too. But we see 2 Novas and a Stormcrow for the medium mechs. And it looks like we have 2... Where's the other light mech? What am I'm missing a light mech here somewhere. We've got an Adder and 2 Ket Foxes for light mechs from the clans. We see the light mechs from the IS are sort of sitting out in the back, trying to get good eyes on their opponent, where we have the IS mechs are Taking their time. They're jump sniping. This is what they do. What do you think we're going to see, Siri? These direwolves, they pack a hell of a punch, but they're hard to get into position without taking a lot of fire from things like a jump sniper.
I think the clans are going to have to scout out just a little bit to try and find the angles. They probably know basically how the enemy is set up just from having done this situation themselves so many times. But they're not going to win a straight-up trade here, even with their spectacular firepower, unless the IS pilots here are messing up and overexposing. Like, you see Sui up here on one of these tourmaline crystals is just... You can pop a little bit, get a shot off, get back, and there's no cover for the clan team. That being said, like, Suncobra's Shadowhawk has taken a hit from something down to 92. Damage is kind of spread out. No major damage going down right now, really.
Yeah, the only really damage...
Different story if there was strikes, but...
Yeah, the only damage mech we see really from the clans, Jaeger and that Summoner is down to 95, and then we've got... That's it.
I mean, I've seen these direwolves take a couple hits, but they
so
have
much
100-ton armor, and they actually have pretty decent hitboxes from the front. The damage spreads around not just to their CT, like as long as you aren't flanked. And so they can tank some of these trades. But even with those trades being tanked, you cannot just one-sided trade and not get your hits in return. So I expect that the clans are going to have to make a push sometime to try and find a more advantageous angle.
Yeah, and
right now the range is just a little too high to be counter-sniping.
That's sort of been my feel with the clan mechs, is that they have to go for that brawl to be as effective as they should be, because I think they're going to lose the jump sniper trade. Like, I mean, just look at this Nova. Like, look how much of it has to expose to do any sort of jumping damage. Same with the Mad Cat. Like, the Mad Cat has a lot of low-slung arms, and the UAX fire in that stream, which makes jump sniping a lot harder if you're running anything other than a Gauss rifle and a PPC. So I think that... And Chap Dude in this Direwolf, like, he's in a good position for sniping, he can get good shots, but he can't back down fast enough. I mean... Dude, fucking those Stormcrows are so tall. I don't even understand.
Well, I don't think the Direwolves should really be putting themselves out there at this point in the fight. They need to keep themselves fresh for the push. It should be like these heavies, the Timberwolves and the Summoners, who are trying to get work done. And they are. Jaeger's Summoner is getting angles over here with... who else here? Fildo and Lego Pirate. They have ERPPCs and Gauss. They're going to outrange your, quote, standard IS sniper, which is running PPCs and AC5s. Some of them might have Gauss, but even though the alpha is smaller, the effective damage is still better for these clan heavies.
Because trading at range is more effective.
Right. Until which point you close into a brawl and the Direwolves come into play.
Right.
So you're going to have to lean on your heavy pilots for this sort of style if you're playing clans.
Yeah, and it looks like damage numbers are fairly equal. We don't see a ton either way. It looks like the heavies and mediums are taking the brunt of the damage for both teams. The Dragon Slayers and the Direwolves both seem to be fairly fresh. So you'd have to check through each individual mech to be absolutely positive, but I don't know. Ooh, that looks like a pretty decent hit on Novocaine. Drops down to 84%.
I'm just getting the feeling from watching this that for class-based drops, the clans might be more advantageous going for full brawl, because then you're going to be getting value out of their assaults in their mediums, not just the heavies right now.
Yeah, there is, but as soon as they release a clan assault mech with jump jets, that's all going to change.
Hope to God never, but the IS mechs in this snipe style versus snipers are going to have everything in play. And that's going to change, though, if you do a tonnage restriction drop, in that the clan side can say, okay, well, we want snipers, let's optimize, 5 Timberwolves and 7 Novas.
Yep. Still no kills from either team here. Both trying to play their advantages. I don't know who is getting the better of this.
I don't think they know.
Yeah, I don't think either team is comfortable in pushing right now. I see quite a few 80s over on the IS side, but also, yeah, that Adder's low, Stormcrow's low. Direwolf's down in the 80s, which is a pretty big deal. That means Harry's taking a lot of damage.
One thing we haven't talked about is that there's a new module. I think it's an absolutely retarded module, but as soon as you break line of sight, lock drops. And
because people were complaining.
This
about
is like power of the original seismic module when it was 400 meters and always on. That's how retarded I think this module is in terms of the current system. So I don't think they have any targeting info at all on how damaged the other side is, because as soon as they drop behind cover, the lock breaks.
Yeah, and I think that I'm guessing both of, like as you were speaking, Chapter took quite a bit of damage in his direwolf. These direwolves are actually pulling back, trying to make sure that they don't get too hurt before the fight. But we see Suncobra and Shadowhawk is down to 70%. Sui is down into the 80s. I think the IS mechs are taking a little bit more of a beating than they want to be taking right now.
I think the clan wolves, or the clans are... Clan wolves, lol.
It's not the tournament.
The clan mechs are making an adjustment here. They're finally thinking to themselves, wait, we've been playing that as sort of an IS engagement. Because going up to the corner where they were, that's about a 500-600 meter engagement.
I was just going to say
and that's the perfect range for your IS weapons. And now they're thinking to themselves, wait, our large lasers go out to like 850, our ER-PPCs are 810, our Gauss is the same, but it's Gauss, it goes far. Let's drop back over to here where we're actually going to win trades. Even though we take like 1.5, 2 shots to every one, we're even, just because of the range advantage.
Yeah,
and it gets their direwolves into the open, and potentially with angles onto the IS positions. So I think this will end well. I hope it does. It would be good design if it does.
I think that the IS were to sort of, they don't want to brawl, but if they were to shorten that engagement distance, I feel like they would be getting the better of this trade. If they were to maybe move up, yeah, no, that'd be too close if they moved up to the other side of the ring. I don't know. I'm not sure what the IS mechs can do in this situation. They're taking more damage than they should be. Neither team has lost a mech yet, and we do see. Oh wow, we see Jaeger and the Summoner and Philo and this Timberwolf. Actually, all of the clan mechs are pushing to the right side. I think they're trying to get better angles on these IS mechs, but they're going to get pretty good cover and take a lot of jump sniping damage, I would think, during this movement.
Yeah, and I know from experience that's about a 900 meter range that they're currently at. So, like I said, that's still pretty good damage for them, but for the IS, it's so far into fall off, it's not even funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one of the hardest things that are to balance with clan mechs are going to be PPCs and gauze. I think lasers are at a good point in the fact that their duration makes it difficult, but any one-shot damage weapon with just longer range is just going to be better.
I'm quite amused
we
by
do see
RN Banar right now.
Yeah. What are they doing?
They're just trying to piss off UBC and Lego.
Ventron and Aurora are actually doing a pretty good job holding 3 of these clan mechs at bay, but it looks like the rest of the clan mechs are actually pulling back. The IS mechs have shifted.
IS is pushing up through the gap. They realize they're not getting any work done. They need to close the range.
Yep. And so they're shifting up. They're going to take...
Do the clans see it coming?
They must, because they're taking shots at them.
Yes, they do. And they're running.
This Stormcrow, however, Wispsy is going to be a little bit out of position. He could take a ton of damage if he's not careful getting away. But yeah, the IS mechs...
UBC's Nova is trying to drive off Ben and Ara.
Oh, shit.
Kid Fox is coming in, Captain Terrific. He doesn't have streaks, though. He just has the lasers and MGs.
If this Kid Fox extends himself too much, if he drops down in here, it could be a bad move. Nope, Captain Terrific pulls out. Aurara's going for a little bit more damage, but he's going to jump up into the face of Jaeger and a Summoner, and Kincaid and this Nova. He's going to take a lot. Oh, he sees it. He backs off. He's okay.
And the IS have taken this ridge here. They've closed back down to about 400 meters to the near element, 600 to the far one. So they're back into their optimal and trading a bit better. But the direwolves actually have the high ground over on this hill, so I don't think they're going to trade that poorly.
Well, the problem is there's no cover up there. There's some turmalines which are going to make hit detection a little bit wonky, but if the IS mechs are jumping up, they're shooting at completely exposed direwolves. And we see all three of these direwolves now are dropping down to their 80%. 82 for Twinkie, 85 for Chap, and 83 for Harry. So we're going to see them take a little bit more damage.
Their precious mech is 83%.
Wow, yeah. These IS mechs are really beat up, and I think that... Oh, wait, shit, we missed Kincaid for the clans goes down in that Nova.
Oh, he was the Nova. He was trying to head over to assist UBC Slayer against Lights, and he must have gotten picked off by the snipers.
Those Lights exit is good bait, but we see Jaeger pushing up kind of by himself. He's out front in this Summoner, supported by Captain Terrific and UBC Slayer in this Nova, but the rest of these mechs are dragging slightly behind, and if the IS pick him off, they could be in a very favorable engagement with all these mechs just sort of trickling in. Jaeger drops down to 65%. The rest of the clans are grouping up, getting ready for this push, and the IS mechs are a little bit too close. They're starting to back off, and we're going to see a very close jump sniping battle going on. But these Jenners, Bentron and Aurora, are in the background doing damage to Pisces in this Kit Fox. Wispsy's in a Stormcrow trying to come back to help out a little bit, but there's not much that he can do. The clans are actually in a not a bad position, but not a great position right now. They're a little bit closer than I think that they want to be, and they're dealing with enemies on a lot of different spots. Aurora and Bentron do pull back, though.
They finally got their direwolves in the position, though, and
here they come.
Dominate this ridge.
Yep.
And here they're ready to push now. The direwolves have caught up.
A wall of direwolves.
They're actually pushing onto a weaker IS force.
Yep. Drunk Canuck in that Shadowhawk goes down, but so does Chaptered in that Direwolf. That's a huge tonnage difference in terms of mechs down. We see 2 mechs down for the clans, 1 for the IS. The IS are backing off furiously, and now I think they're going to be having a little bit more trouble. We see the Lights skirmishing on the bottom, along with 1 Cataphract trying to pick off these clan mechs as they push in, but 2 more IS mechs go down in the form of, they have 2 Cataphract and 2 Shadowhawks down compared to the 2 clan mechs. And we see that the clan, we overextended, Lego, Captain Terrific, and Twinkie, as well as Coburn, are a little bit out of position, but the rest of the clan mechs are trying to deal with these Lights, and those Lights are the really big advantage that the IS have. We see a Cataphract, Schopenhauer is going to go down, but not before Pisces goes down in his Kit Fox. Jaeger and his Summoner goes over to try and help. It looks like the Lights might be able to pick him up 4-6 in favor of the clan mechs. The IS have been able to put up kind of a firing line again back onto this Timberwolf and this Direwolf. They're in a pretty decent position, I think. 5-6 in favor of the clans, but I'm liking the IS for this, honestly.
I've been spectating Aura in the Light, and he's just been getting so much work done just because there are no Lights really to oppose him. It's just mediums, quote-unquote.
Aurora and Bentron are doing a ton of work right now, and we do see what looks like a legged UBC Slayer in his Nova trying to do some damage. Man, these Cataphracts and Dragon Slayers are getting really low, but Twinkie, out by himself in the backfield, goes down in his Direwolf. 6-6. We see Odwalla and Dragon Slayer kind of out by himself. He's going to get a couple shots taken on him from Harry and Lego Pirate in this Timberwolf. Well, the other one... Oh, wow, match is over.
Oh, time. To time.
Oh, wow, I wasn't even paying attention. Who won?
The IS did. They were 7-6 up at the end.
Wow.
And Aura was actually about to pick Jaeger off because he was completely crit out CT and he was just peeking over to get it. So, yeah, if that had more time, I'm actually liking the IS for that. Their Dragon Slayers did a good job keeping at the rear, keeping pretty fresh, and using their mobility over the Direwolves to just wear them down, while their Lights were coming in on the other flank and just getting a hell of a lot of work done. Aura and Ben, 293, 229, 1 kill, 3 assists for Ben, 4 assists for Aura. Not that much damage on paper, but the amount of just dissension they were sowing in the ranks was huge.
Yeah, I agree.
And Duckarino's Ember was actually trying to do the same thing, but he got picked off by, I believe it was dual ER PPC off. No. Dual ER PPC and some lasers from Wispsy's Stormcrow is what took him out.
I have to say,
that's one thing to note is that the Lights are, for the IS, they're one of their bigger assets. It's also really risky for them because against IS heavies and assaults, you just get into their formation sub 90 and the PPCs no longer function. But ER PPCs, clans, you can be circling at 10 meters, and you're still just as scared of those guns as
And I
you
have to
would
say,
be
even
at, like 180.
had that not gone to time, I still think that IS would have come out on top. They were in a really fantastic position. They had a bunch of the clan mechs split out. Clans were very spread. And I think that what we were talking about at the very beginning of the cast when we first started out, we were talking about mobility. I think that really showed in the sniping battle. With brawling, it's all about getting close and dealing as much damage as possible quickly. I think that the clans absolutely excelled at that. But with this jump sniping, movement is so important, and I think that the IS showed that. The clan movements were slower purely because of their mech choices.
They're saying in chat, or Lego Pirate is, that 2 of those Dragon Slayers were one-shot, and that they could have taken him down with a little bit more time. So it would have been tense. But one thing I'll comment on is that, in terms of the movement, the move from the clans to fall back and get that extra range was excellent. It started tipping the match in their favor. Just from the percentages, they were putting down a lot more firepower. And when they first made that push, they were actually up in terms of those numbers. Where it fell apart was that whole, I don't know what the hell that was, those shenanigans over with their mediums trying to play with the lights and just getting picked off, because they got absolutely blindsided when the main IS crowd moved up and they were trying to return from dealing with the lights, and they were caught out completely in the open, no cover. And I think that was like one Nova almost killed and the other one dead. And if that had been an IS versus IS match, that would have been unrecoverable in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was a good match, and be as close as it may, IS won, so that means the series is tied up. We will be playing all of this best of 5, obviously, just because it's pretty much for fun. But clans are not unbeatable.
Of us are now, both of us have, wait,
Both
did either
wrong
of us
so
call
far.
that the IS was winning snipers, or we said the clans were?
You said the only one the clans were going to win, or the only ones the clans were going to lose was the light drop, and I stand by that. I thought they were going to lose the...
Did I say light drop?
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to win the light drop with like lots of mediums.
It's true. What was it? What's drop 4?
We'll have to go figure this out after.
yeah. We'll go look afterwards and check our own facts.
Yeah, but the IS meta there, they knew how to do it, and it was still really close. And for that first half of the match where they didn't make that move to fall back and use range, where they were trying to play the old IS style, was them working out how exactly to play this in organized format.
Mm-hmm. I agree.